Springfield has the second largest school system in Massachusetts with approximately 26,000 students at 52 school sites operating with an annual budget of over $400 million. I'm Nathan O'Leary for Comcast Newsmakers at the Majestic Theater in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Daniel J. Warwick, Superintendent of Springfield Schools, joins me to discuss the realities of running such a large school system in an economically challenged urban setting. To begin, I think that to understand who you are, you need to understand your career track. Started in Springfield, substitute teacher, now superintendent, Springfield first. So how does that experience benefit the school system?
Well, I think the experience in an urban district really gives me the background to take this city forward. But I grew up in the city. In fact, I'm the first superintendent in the history of Springfield that actually grew up in the city and actually rose through the ranks. So I know the city, I know the school district at every level, and I know exactly what we need to do to move forward, and I can hit the ground running, and I have hit the ground running.
And your plan, you have a name for it, the Springfield Promise, a culture of equity and proficiency. What are the three building blocks of a successful future for the Springfield school system?
It's all about curriculum and instruction at the end of the day and improving classroom practice. So a key piece is going to be to develop our educators, and we're putting a new evaluation system in place to develop our teachers with the goal of improving instruction in the classroom every day, in every classroom. Another big task for us is to improve our curriculum, and we're going to rewrite our entire curriculum in alignment with the Common Core, which has higher standards, higher order thinking skills, a key piece to it. Another thing that you'll find in every successful school is using data effectively to inform instruction. And we've put a lot of money into technology and improving data systems so our educators can use student data to inform instruction in the classroom.
I think it's important, too, that Springfield Public Schools, there has been some improvement in certain groups on the MCAS scores, and let's spotlight that. Can you talk about what this means in terms of the achievement gap, both short-term and long-term?
Yeah, and that's why we talked about a culture of equity. We want to make sure that our schools are getting better for all of our students. So this year we had some significant gains for our English language learners, a population that struggles across the state. We had really good gains in that subgroup. We've had some gains in the past of their special education subgroup. And this year we had particularly good gains outpacing the state for our African American subgroup. So we're really excited about the gains overall, but again the gains in certain subgroups and closing that gap, which is a key part of our agenda.
Now, over 50 schools, but we did have, according to the MCAS, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education has designated at this point 11 Springfield schools as level 4 since 2010. Can you tell us the impact that this education reform has had overall in Springfield?
Yeah, we've looked at the level 4 process as an opportunity for our schools. It identified some of the struggling schools across the state. A surprise to no one would be these schools are in really neighborhoods that suffer from a great deal of poverty. And in these schools, we've been able to use the resources through the grants we get from the federal government to improve the schools. We put a lot of great programs in place, and we've actually had significant improvements. In fact, 4 out of the 10 most improving level 4 schools in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts are in Springfield. And Zanetti and Helena and Homer were 3 right on top. In fact, they had 3-year gains for goals. 2 of our schools actually made the gains in only 2 years, with only extra funding for 1 year. So we've had some real good success stories at the elementary level with level 4 schools, and we're really proud of that. We're trying to learn from that and cascade those reforms across the district.
All right, thank you very much, Dan Warwick. He's the superintendent of Springfield Schools. Thank you for joining Comcast Newsmakers, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.